So I went to the theaters today because Disney invited me to check out the upcoming horror film Barbarian, which I'm pretty excited about. It has a pretty cool trailer.
How was it?
I had avoided the trailers completely until I went to Vengeance, and then it started to play. I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this movie. Barbarian, cool. I'm gonna go see it tomorrow. Turns out, didn't see it. They rescheduled that press screening as I was on my way to the theater. Would have been nice to get a little heads up, but it did afford me the opportunity to finally catch up with Marcel the Shell with shoes on
VOD, right?
Arturo's
playing on Disney Freeform. By this point,
I think theaters only. A24 committed to that theatrical experience, despite ongoing viral things happening in the world. But yeah, Marcel the Shell with shoes on. I think this was was it 6, 5 on your best movies of the year so far list?
It is probably the best feel-good movie of the year. And I have heard the Paddington praises that people have been giving it. I'm not going as far as that. But if you're a Paddington lover, this is the genre you've been waiting to see return to theaters. Zach, how was your morning? I know you were disappointed, but did he turn it around for you?
It was considerably cuter than I would have expected, given that I was driving in to see Barbarian, a huge pivot. But I was really, really enamored by this movie. I almost feel like it's hard to be critical about a thing that is just so adorable in every frame. There's just like a scope to the movie that I really love. Something about a movie like this where it really does sort of change your orientation by forcing you to sort of see through this 1-inch tall shell's perspective. It almost like makes you reconsider your own perspective. And I love when a movie's able to do that. There's a shot towards the end of the film where they're kind of slow panning through or slow moving through this laundry room, and a bunch of things that would be like uninspiring and sort of mundane in another context just feel grand and epic and beautiful. And I think that's really the true testament of a movie, is that when it can make you look at something in a new light, when it can make you add feel a sense of profundity about things that you would not normally find to be profound. That's all you want from a film, right? I mean, and to get that from a cute comedy, I don't know, man. I was really, really enamored with this one.
Would you consider it an animated film?
That was my question. I thought going in that it would be a little more animated than it turned out to be. And I still want to dig into some interviews and just read more about the behind the scenes, because watching it, my feeling was it's a lot more practical than I expected. It feels very tangible. It feels very, like you actually can sense the scope and the weight of things in this movie. I don't know. I guess it's not an animated movie. So
stop motion?
Yeah, but it's not mostly stop motion. It's mostly live action.
Well, it's considered animated. It's Marcel's stop motion. I guess it would be like when you take the what's the TV movie Emmy nominee Disney Plus with the Chipmunks this year?
Chip and Dale.
Would that be considered?
Rescue Rangers.
Because it's half and half?
See, so I feel like ultimately that would be more on the side of animated, because there is more animation happening, and maybe that's just a little bit unfair or whatever. But I feel like if we're just literally calculating what percentage of the screen is animated in any shot, most of Marcel doesn't feel animated to me.
I mean, I feel like he would be stop motion.
Yeah.
But then you're right.
But he's small.
Is the ball tiny. Stop motion, right? Because then that's a practical effect. That's why I find it interesting. Because
the books I feel like are probably practical effects and stuff like that.
Can you call that animation?
Yeah.
At what point does that become stop? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see if that actually is something that gets litigated later in the year, because
Marvel movies start getting nominated for animated films.
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
But I'm glad you liked it, dude. I thought it lived up to the
Yeah.
hype. Did you have a favorite line or character?
I think this is in one of the trailers, but I love during the 60-minute interview when Leslie Stahl asks Marcel how long he's been alone for, and Marcel gives this long, profound answer about not reading time by the clocks and watching the leaves change and the flowers grow and feeling the immense weight. And then Leslie asks Dean, and he says, "Oh, about 2 years."
A bunch of good ones. If it is
Yeah.
playing near you, I highly, highly, highly recommend Marcel the Shell
so
with Shoes
good.
On.
I'm very excited to see it again. It's one
Right?
that I'm eager to now that I've finally caught it.
Nice.